What if Earth just stopped spinning for 1 minute? 60 seconds of stillness. No day, no night, just a planetary pause. Our world spins at over 1,600 kilometers an hour at the equator, but we never feel it until it stops. Imagine the jolt, a global whiplash, the ground betraying us, everything thrown into chaos. The air, the oceans, the land, all would react with violent fury. Physics, usually invisible, would become a brutal force. The consequences would ripple through every system on Earth. From the deepest ocean trench to the highest sky, nothing would remain untouched. The delicate balance that nurtures life, shattered in an instant. Our dependence on cosmic clockwork, exposed. What happens when the predictable ends? This is not just a question, it's a journey into ultimate catastrophe. Prepare for the unthinkable. The next 60 seconds would change everything. Let's see what happens when the world stands still. Imagine the Earth grinding to a halt. The moment Earth stops its rotation, the air, unburdened by the sudden stillness, keeps moving, eastward, at over 1,600 kilometers an hour. A planet-wide gale unleashed in an instant. Winds faster than any hurricane ever recorded would scour the surface with unimaginable force, tearing buildings apart like they were made of paper, tossing cars like toys and turning every piece of debris into deadly high-speed missiles. Oceans, no longer restrained by the Earth's rotation, too, would surge eastward with terrifying momentum, creating tsunamis kilometers high, walls of water swallowing coastlines and surging deep inland, reshaping the very geography. The world map would be rewritten in seconds by these colossal waves. Gravity would feel slightly stronger at the equator, a minor change compared to the real danger. Momentum. Everything not anchored would be flung eastward at terrifying speed, a planet-wide catapult. People, animals, trees, launched into the air like projectiles in a deadly game. Friction between the atmosphere and the suddenly still land would generate immense heat, igniting fires everywhere. A global inferno. The sound? A deafening continuous roar, wind, water, grinding rock creating a symphony of destruction. The surface of Earth would become a death zone. Fires, floods, and flying debris would devastate everything in their path. The atmosphere itself, now a raging tempest, would become a weapon of mass destruction. All of this, in just 60 seconds, the world as we know it, utterly obliterated, transformed beyond recognition. No place would be safe from this cataclysm. The chaos would be total, absolute, and inescapable. This is not the end, but the overture to a new terrifying world, a planet scarred and forever changed. Earth spins on its axis, a constant, almost imperceptible motion, completing one full rotation approximately every 24 hours. This daily cycle dictates our days and nights, a rhythm we rarely pause to consider. This spin isn't some recent development, it's a legacy from the very birth of our solar system, a primordial inheritance. This spin, elegantly governed by the laws of angular momentum, is like a cosmic flywheel, constantly in motion, resisting any change to its state. Stopping it, even for a single minute, would require an unimaginable force, a cataclysmic event of unprecedented scale. The sheer amount of energy involved is far beyond anything humans could ever hope to create or even comprehend. It dwarfs our most powerful technologies. Earth's rotation profoundly shapes our planet in ways we often overlook. The centrifugal force generated by the spin causes it to bulge noticeably at the equator, and conversely to flatten slightly at the poles, giving Earth its characteristic not quite spherical shape. Furthermore, it drives global weather patterns through the Coriolis effect, influencing ocean currents and wind directions. Should the spin cease abruptly, all these forces would vanish instantly, triggering drastic and immediate changes to our environment. The rotation is also intrinsically linked to the dynamo effect within Earth's core, which powers our magnetic field, a vital shield protecting us from deadly solar radiation. If the spin were to cease, this crucial shield could weaken significantly or even collapse entirely, leaving the planet exposed to harmful cosmic rays and solar flares. The consequences of such an event would resonate far beyond that single terrifying minute of stillness. Our planet's delicate shape, its established climate patterns, and even its fundamental ability to support life as we know it, would be thrown into utter chaos. The intricate and interconnected systems that work in harmony to make Earth a habitable place would begin to unravel, leading to widespread instability. Even if a fraction of humanity managed to survive the initial shock of such an event, the long-term effects on the environment and the biosphere would be utterly catastrophic. The world as we understand it would never, ever be the same again. It would be irrevocably altered. The silent, almost unnoticed spin that we so often take for granted is, in reality, the very foundation upon which everything we know and rely on is built. Without its constant, reliable rotation, Earth would transform into a truly alien and hostile world, unrecognizable from the vibrant planet we call home. The environmental destruction would be absolute. Super winds would rip forests from the ground, tsunamis would poison fertile land with salt, and freshwater sources would vanish. Erosion would strip away topsoil, mountains might crumble, and new valleys could form in minutes. Animal life, on land, in the sea, and in the air, would be decimated. The intricate web of life, torn apart in a cosmic blink. The climate system would spiral into chaos, with extreme temperature swings and unpredictable weather. The atmosphere, thick with dust and debris, could block sunlight, triggering a deep freeze. Or, fires could cause a runaway greenhouse effect. The air itself might become toxic, filled with smoke and chemicals from global fires. The destruction of vegetation would cripple oxygen production and carbon absorption, the balance that sustains life irreparably damaged. Nature would be left fighting for survival on a planet turned hostile. The world's ecosystems, once interconnected and resilient, would collapse. Recovery, if possible, would take millennia. Earth would become almost unrecognizable. For humanity, this minute would be pure terror, a moment etched in the collective memory as the day everything changed. Cities would be obliterated, buildings torn apart, reduced to rubble in a matter of seconds, infrastructure destroyed, crippling any chance of organized response or escape, and anyone outside flung at deadly speeds, becoming projectiles in a storm of unimaginable force. Indoors, safety would be an illusion, a false promise shattered by the overwhelming power. As structures collapse under the onslaught of wind, water, and debris, offering no refuge from the cataclysm, power grids, communication networks, the very lifelines of modern society and transportation, all gone in an instant, leaving survivors isolated and stranded. Dams would burst, unleashing torrents of water, nuclear plants could fail, releasing deadly radiation, and toxic materials would spread, poisoning the land and water. Survival would depend on sheer luck, a roll of the dice in a game with impossible odds. Perhaps only those in deep reinforced bunkers might endure, shielded from the immediate devastation. Emerging into a world with unbreathable air, extreme temperatures, a toxic atmosphere, and flooded, devastated landscapes, a haunting reminder of what was lost. Finding clean water, food, resources that were once taken for granted, and safe shelter would be a desperate struggle against the elements and each other. Society as we know it would vanish, replaced by a brutal landscape of survival. The psychological toll, witnessing the loss of everything familiar, would be immense, leaving scars that may never heal. Humanity would be thrust back to its most primal struggle, survival, stripped of its comforts and technology. The skills needed would be basic, finding food, water, and shelter in a hostile world, skills long forgotten by many. The world would be unrecognizable, transformed into an alien landscape, and the fight for existence would be raw and relentless, a constant battle against the odds. Civilization would be reduced to scattered survivors, clinging to life in the ruins of the old world. The burden of loss would be overwhelming, a weight that few could bear. The end of the familiar world would haunt any who remained, a constant reminder of what they had lost. The struggle would be for mere existence, a desperate fight for survival. The future uncertain, brutal and lonely, a bleak and unforgiving landscape. This is the price of a world gone still, a silent testament to the fragility of civilization. After 60 seconds, if Earth began spinning again, the chaos would only intensify. Everything not anchored would be slammed violently westward as the planet lurched back into motion. Oceans would surge in new directions, creating more colossal waves and unpredictable flooding. The atmosphere would be thrown into further turmoil, spawning new destructive wind patterns. The ground might crack, tectonic plates shift, and volcanic eruptions could follow. The planet's shape, tilt, and even orbit could be altered, changing seasons and climate forever. The magnetic field, if disrupted, might take millennia to recover, leaving Earth exposed to radiation. For survivors, the restart would be another wave of terror. The world would be even more unpredictable and dangerous. The scars of this event would last for generations. Earth would never truly return to normal. Thankfully, this scenario is impossible. But it teaches us profound lessons. The Earth's steady spin is a silent gift, the foundation of life and stability. Everything is interconnected: the spin, the atmosphere, the oceans, the magnetic field, and life itself. Disturb one, and the entire system can collapse. Our civilization depends on this fragile equilibrium. We are not masters of Earth, but passengers on its cosmic journey. Imagining such catastrophe reminds us to cherish our world's stability. The gentle spin of Earth is a lullaby for life. To lose it would be to lose everything. These thought experiments expand our understanding and inspire awe. Our blue planet is precious, and its balance irreplaceable. What impossible scenario shall we explore next?